So now this is the funny thing. We turned around instead of walking down the river, because now all we have to do is just walk down the river all the way out to the road, because the road goes under a culvert or like that. So we said, well, we just walk back down the river. So all of a sudden we come to this area. We've already walked a good distance, maybe 3-4 kilometers before we came to all of a sudden a concrete thing there with this big, huge wire thing going across it and a big, gigantic sign. And we were looking at it from the backside because we were coming down, and then we turned around and looked at it, and the sign said, U.S. government property. Do not enter. You will be caught. The first week of January 1971, my brother and myself got on a bus and went to the Boston Commonwealth Boston Temple, and I walked in and became a Hare Krishna. But actually, I became a Hare Krishna by division.
Visions. Okay, so it was in Boston that you
went. It was Boston that I joined, and then Manjari, Dayananda, Shatarup, and Jayarani, all these people, no one's a sannyasi yet, we're all, they're all, this is 1971, January, and they remember me well, and you know what, this I'll never forget. This is what got us going on our journey, and this is how I met Jagannath. Okay. So, every morning for breakfast, Nanga Manjari told me later how they did it. They would make this porridge. Well, I don't know what you call it. Porridge. I don't know what we had. We had a name for it. I don't know what it was. Anyway, they would just pour, and then they would take the bag of sugar, and is that enough? I'm more, okay, And anyway, they would make this porridge every morning. And so then, in the morning, they will put out the wax paper in front of us, a wax paper, and then another Manjari or someone will come along and slap this stuff on the plate. And we just take our fingers and gobble it up. And so this happened that one day, I got an acid flashback from all the sugar. I just tripped out. I was gone, completely tripping. So I said, oh God, I gotta go into the temple. So I went into the temple, and I went under Lord Nrsingadev. We had a big painting of Lord Nrsingadev, so I sat there, and I was tripping out. And there was there were a bunch of devotees in there chanting japa, I think the curtains were open, or maybe they weren't, I don't remember. Anyways, I was in there under Lord Nrsingadev, and I said, wow! Yogeshwara, I want to test you. I want to do something in appreciation of what you did for me. It's showing me this opulence, this magic. Showing me this. I want to do something for you now. And this is going to solve a lot of problems for you. What I would like you to do is I would like you to have all the mystical serpents and spiders and evil and fears and everything that's within all these devotees assembled, have it all leave their bodies and enter my body, and then kill me, and that would solve the whole problem, and all these devotees would go back to Godhead, and I would go with their karma to hell. No problem. That was my deal that I made with Krishna under Lord Nrsingadev, tripping on that, so I took advantage of it. So, I'm sitting there still tripping out, and then all of a sudden, I'm starting to see light sparks shoot out of these devotees, and I started seeing things wiggling around like this, and boom! I could feel things entering my body. I could feel things biting me and then entering my body. You know, I said, "What's that?" Okay, it's happening. You know, it's happening. It really is happening. You know, and so then me and my brother got. Oh, I got my income tax money, and it was a good hunk, $384, and me and my brother, after staying in Boston for 3 months, helping him move the presses and everything, we blooped, I guess you might say, and we hitchhiked from Worcester, Massachusetts to San Francisco. Mm. And this is where I was introduced to Jagannath. Mm. So as we entered San Francisco, we hitchhiked to Golden Gate Park, and then we...
Christian's just reeling you back.
So we went to Golden Gate Park, you know, and then we went to Haight-Ashbury. Mm. And what do you think we saw when we went to Haight-Ashbury? They were building 3 carts, 3 Rath Yatra carts in the parking lot. So we were introduced to Jayananda. And then we talked with Jayananda for some time, you know, we talked for a while. You know, he was preaching to us, telling us all these different things about Jagannath. I can't remember anything that transpired. Mm-hmm. And then I do remember this though, he did say to us, he said, "How would you boys like to sleep under Jagannath's cart at night to protect it?" And of course that's how I became connected to Jagannath.
So you blooped, hitchhike across the country to San Francisco, and then get asked to come guard Jagannath's cart.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to clarify.
Okay. Wow.
That's the truth.
That's incredible.
So we did that. We did that for a while.
Let me just. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna restart this now because I keep looking. It's gonna end soon, so I gotta just save this recording. All right, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep on going.
Okay.
But we'd love to have you back as well. You know, but
okay,
continue.
So what was I saying?
You were asked to sleep on the carts to guard.
Okay, so after that, then we I guess we're in the bloop mood. We
in the bloop mood.
we didn't know how to get any money, so I joined the Air Force. I went to the Air Force recruiter, and I re-enlisted in the Air Force. So that way I went to welfare, and because I can't work now, so they gave me a welfare check. Anyway, so we got a welfare check now, and I got Section 8, whatever it was, anyways, living. So we went to Prescott Street in Haight-Ashbury.
Mm. So you joined the Air Force Reserves?
I joined the Air Force just to re-enlist, because they're not going to take me because I'm totally whacked out.
Yeah. I got you.
I'm only doing this to get welfare.
Okay.
Because that way I don't have to work. You know, I can't work. I'm connected to the Air Force. Anyways, so we got a room on the 2nd floor of this building.
Yeah.
And on this floor there was one gentleman there. I shouldn't say a gentleman, but he was I don't know, I remember saying maybe he was a joker for the Hells Angels or something, or he was something connected to the Hells Angels. Mm. In any case, he was in charge of our floor, and in all the different rooms they had different hippies living, you know, doing their thing. Now underneath where we lived was Sonny Barger's family and a couple lieutenants, so this is, you know, not like I'm a biker trying to tell a biker story that's going to get me killed, you know. I'm just trying to tell you a simple, more to goodness biker story. Mm-hmm. You know, these bikers, you know, they like me, you know, my brother, you know, because I'm a Vietnam veteran, you know, and he was a Marine in Okinawa. He was a soldier. We were soldiers, you know, and they were soldiers too, I suppose. And you know, they never took us on choppers or anything. I never got involved with groups or anything like that. But every Saturday, we would get into their cami van and we would go to the movies. And so we would go to this old movie house and we go in there. And of course, you know, the place is filled with bikers and hippies and all kinds of people. And what kind of movies did we watch? W.C. Fields, Charlie Chaplin, you know, all the old silent, all the old early movies, and everybody being there tripping out, smoking, and it would just be a party every Saturday that we did. But that's my only biker story. I'm not going any further than that, and please don't kill me for saying that. All right, so
I don't think that's something you gotta worry about at the moment. What are they gonna do to you?
I'm really dying from cancer. I got 4 kinds of cancers already. So anyway, so we got that we're living, and so then I'm gonna tell you the most, and not I'm telling the world. Maybe Bob Weir and the Grateful Dead will remember this sequence of events that happened. But this is the most far-out Grateful Dead story you've ever heard.
Oh, wow.
It was Winterland, 1972, New Year's Eve, San Francisco. The Grateful Dead are opening up the New Year's. With guests, I suppose. I don't remember anything. Anyways, we were in the end of the line, and somehow we got into Winterland. And we were meeting up against the wall in the back, and the whole literally place was packed with thousands and thousands and thousands of hippies and people. And I believe, if I remember correctly, Quicksilver Messenger Service was the first band playing. It's a long time ago. Anyway, so the band was playing, and so there we are standing there. We're totally straight, and trying to figure out how we're going to get up to the front stage to see the Grateful Dead for New Year's. So I got an idea. So I would look around, and then as soon as I would see someone light up a joint or a hash pipe, I would say, excuse me, could I have a hit, please? And they would give me a hit. And I took my first hit, and I said, there is a Lord, and now I'm going to make it to the front. I'm going to smoke my way to the front stage.
Oh my God.
So there it was. So making a long story short, by the time Quicksilver Messenger Service was finished, we were halfway into Winterland, stoned out of our, excuse the French, F minds. Totally ripped out. And then I believe Santana came on next.
Oh, wow.
So then by the time Santana finished, there I am, leaning down on the stage with my head on the stage, stoned out of my brains. Just completely stoned out of my brains. So then all of a sudden, Bob Weir got walking up on the stage with a bottle of port wine. Beautiful bottle of port wine, and filling everybody and the guests, and I don't know who even was on the stage, but there was a whole bunch of people, and everybody was grabbing instruments and everything, and then Bob Weir went up to everybody, and everybody's drinking from the wine bottle.
Oh my God.
The whole
God
band
knows what was in there.
The whole band, who knows? Anyway, this is gospel. Bob Weir come walking up to the edge of the stage, and he's looking down at this girl, and he gives her the wine bottle. And then for I don't know if he's pointed to give it to me, but anyway, somehow, the wine bottle is in my hand. And I am so stoned, and I have this wine bottle, and who knows what the Grateful Dead put in there. And I just went, I drank maybe half of what was in there and passed it down.
Man, that's hard.
And so then, all I remember,
So all I remember.
I'm surprised you remember any of that.
all I remember is Jerry Garcia. He did bong, bong, bong. He made 3 little notes, and then the next thing I know, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, the Grateful Dead are getting off the stage. I don't know what transpired, how long it went on. I don't know if they took breaks. I don't know if they played for the full 7 hours, I don't know anything. I blacked out because I have all the CIA stuff in my mouth. Okay, so so then, Billy Graham comes up on the podium on the stage, and he says, okay, now we're going to serve our breakfast. Powdered eggs and something. And I said, oh, shit, I can't eat. I'm a Hare Krishna. I can't eat eggs. I'm tripped out, on top of that, So me and my brother, we went to the tallest building in San Francisco. And we somehow got on the roof and watched the sunrise over the Golden Gate Bridge. Tripping on this, whatever was in the wine bottle. Anyways, the story still goes on. So after that, my eyes got heavy, the sun. So then we walked from the center of San Francisco all the way to Golden Gate Park. And then when we got to Golden Gate Park, we went to Hippie Hill. And when we went to Hippie Hill, what do you think we saw on Hippie Hill? Everybody who drank from the wine bottle was on the hill, playing some instrument or doing some very, very strange thing. Anyways, what was most amazing about the whole thing, there was about 40 or 50 percussion going around the hill. And they were all unisonly flowing in rhythm and beats, and everybody was rolling out. And then this girl comes up to me, and she says, I love you. Will you? I'm not going into details. And I said, well, I'm kind of tripping, and I don't do that kind of thing, So, but she said, I love you. So she gave me her bag of weed and some cigarette papers, and she said, go smoke a couple joints. I love you. Wow. I said, whoa. So there we are, still tripping out, right? So we go into Golden Gate Park and we find some bushes. So we go into the bushes and we're in there rolling joints. Somebody things happening. We are tripped out rolling joints. I look up and what do you think I saw? A cop on a horse.
A cop on a horse.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
So he looked down at us. Boys, what do you got there in your hand? I gave him the joint. He took the joint and he went like that with it, broke it up a little bit and smelled it. Give me the bag. I gave him the bag. He put it in his pocket. And he said, I don't want you boys smoking in my park anymore. And he went off on his little horsey.
Only him, right?
I put his little horsey down into the park with my bag of weed.
Oh my God.
Then I had to explain it to that girl that she took my weed,
He took it from me.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
But that was the end of that Grateful Dead
Wow.
story. And that was my escapade in San Francisco. And we would go to the temple on occasions, for the Sunday feast, and still connected.
Mm-hmm.
Still maintained not eating meat, fish, and eggs, but offered everything to Yogeshwar, all the drugs, everything we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So then we hitchhiked. We saved up enough money to get airplane tickets to Maui.
Oh, wow.
So for the first year, we hitchhiked across America. We were in San Francisco, and then we went down south, and we got a flight from San Diego to Maui, Hawaii.
Mm.
And so we lived in Maui, Hawaii, helped them. We stayed at the temple quite often. We would have these beautiful fruit offerings,
Yeah.
There's like so much exotic fruits on the island, But sadly, they had to move from the island from Maui to the Big Island. So we helped them do that, living on the island. But basically, me and my brother, we lived in caves on the island.
Wow.
All around the whole island of Maui, we had maybe 35 caves or so that we were staying in at night.
Wow.
And
You were like a real deal, like little yogi out there.
Anyway, there
That's
we
pretty-
were, living in these caves for 6 months,
Oh my God.
all around the whole island. And every morning, this is without fail, we would go to this guy's cow field. He had black, our Angus cows. And of course, you know, Black Angus cows produce that little mushroom that makes you very happy. Anyways, every morning, me and my brother would go into the field and we would pick, 15, 20, 30 mushrooms and just eat them. Throw our guts up out of our brains, throw our guts up, and then go on a nature walk on Maui, Hawaii, somewhere in the. We went on so many adventures, we went on so many adventures living on Maui, really, I mean, I can go on for on and on and on, so many stories, but making a long story short, we're talking about Krishna consciousness. So, after Maui, we hitchhiked back across and hitchhiked back again. And then, of course, I had a girlfriend, and this is my first encounter with a girl, I guess you might say. She was kind of a crazy girl, running around naked all over the island. Crazy woman she was. Anyways, I have to say this, because I mentioned that I was a warlock way back when. These witches said that I was a warlock. Well, I will have to say I did one black magic thing. I only did one thing in my whole life, and that's only because I wanted to go down to the pit of hell, down to the bottom, and see the honka-donk, the guy running the whole show. I wanted to see this evil beyond words, okay? So, I wanted to see the honka-donk. So what I did is they came to my house, and they brought 100 trips of Orange Sunshine LSD.
Wait, the witches did?
100 trips.
Those
No,
witches?
this is in Maui, Hawaii.
Okay, your friends or something.
This is in Maui. This is in Maui.
This is still
okay.
We're in Maui now. We're in
Still
Maui.
Maui.
This is after jogging. This is after San Francisco. Now we're going step by step
Yeah.
until I
Okay.
get to India.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a complete scenario.
So who brought you the orange?
Anyways, somebody we bought
Okay,
100 trips
okay.
of Orange Sunshine
Gotcha.
LSD. So what I did is I took a cheesecloth, I put the whole 100 trips in it, I took a warm glass of water, and I went like this, and I went 1, 2, 3, boop! And I said, now this is for everybody at the party. So I let them have all that, and everybody else has that. But I had all the lysergic acid. Because lysergic acid is the first thing to leave when it hits liquid.
Yeah.
So I counted to 3, and that was enough to get it all.
Oh my god.
So I had 100 trips of LSD in this glass of water.
Oh my god.
For me and my brother, we just shot both. We shot it. We both shot half each. And then we went on this adventure. This adventure is gonna blow your mind. So we were walking behind our house, and all of a sudden we come across this array of beehives. There were hundreds and hundreds of beehives, and there was only a little walkway you could go through to get through the whole thing. All the way through it. It goes for a long stretch. But we could see something on the other side of the beehives. So we're all tripped out. So I'm going like this, walking through the beehives, hoping no one's going to sting me, So I'm walking through all these hundreds of beehives, bees everywhere all around us, and we're going wah, 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 wah.
Trying to talk to them, tell them not to sting you. Oh.
We got to the other side, and what do you think we saw? A voodoo village with the demon carved on the wall, painted on the wall, and we looked around and I found a biker's uniform. I guess the biker of the organization, the head guy, because they have bars, you have colors, and he had a rib chain. I got fascinated with this rib chain because it was a big, thick thing, and all you do is just go whonk and then chop someone's head off, with a big rib chain. And so, anyways, I took that, and then we decided I brought that to the house and put it in the house. And so then we decided we were going to go to the moon crater. The moon crater is where all the demigods are.
Oh, in
And on Maui,
oh.
on Maui, the moon crater, you know, that's a sacred volcano. You can ask anybody about the moon crater, it's holy. So we decided we were going to go to the moon crater because I could read maps. I could read a 1 to 50,000 map. I could tell the terrain and how
from all your time in the intel.
Yeah, because all my training. So anyway, so I look at the maps, everything. I said, wow, if we go like this, you know, and we come down here, you know. I didn't see the cliff. I said, well, we come here, we come to the river. And that river goes straight up to the moon crater. So that's what we're going to do. So we ventured off, walking and walking and walking. And then what do you think we saw? 6 nuclear missile silos being built.
Oh,
with the CAN building and the other buildings, you know. And I'm saying, holy shit. You know, so we snuck out of that situation. We crawled away without them seeing us. So we, all of a sudden, came to the point where I told we're going to connect with the river here to go up. But I didn't know there was a 500 or 1,000 foot cliff going straight down to the river.
Oh my.
So we went on our backs, climbing on the trees, going down this 1,000 foot cliff until we made it to the bottom.
Oh my God.
And then we started walking up the spring, up the river, barefooted, because it's going up. We're going to the moon crater now. No one's going to stop us. We're going. And all of a sudden, it started raining. And we're going, and it started raining. And the rain got thicker and thicker and thicker. I couldn't even put my fist through the rain. It was so thick. It was like a wall of solid water. I said, holy shit. They're not letting us through, buddy.
They're not letting us through.
So we turned around. So now this is the funny thing. We turned around and started walking down the river, because now all we have to do is just walk down the river all the way out to the road. Because the road goes under a culvert, you know, like that. So we said, we just walk back down the river. So all of a sudden we come to this area. You know, we've already walked a good distance, you know, maybe 3-4 kilometers before we came to all of a sudden a concrete thing there with this big, huge wire thing going across it and a big, gigantic sign. And we were looking at it from the backside because we were coming down, and then we turned around and looked at it, and the sign said, U.S. government property. Do not enter. You will be caught. We said, holy shit. Holy shit, what'd we do? What'd we do?
Oh
And so then this is the real clincher. Here we are walking down the river. And of course, as we're walking down, we're passing people's houses. And of course, all these people's houses are agents, you know, guarding and watching the entrance to the whole complex, you know. And here we are coming. They didn't see us go up. And here we are coming down. Where did they come from? We fooled them. They had them so they were mesmerized. We had a good time in Maui. We really did. So anyway, getting back to my black magic. So after we did all that, we went home, we dried up, and then I got this spark, and I said, I'm going to do some black magic. I want to go to hell and see the honka-donk. I want to see Satan. I want to see the evil of the creation. I want to see the real deal. So what I did, I'm still tripping, I went and I got the biggest jar I could find with a lid on it. I went around collecting live scorpions. Because the island's full of scorpions. There's no snakes, but it's full of scorpions and centipedes. So I'm collecting live scorpions and throwing them in this bottle. And I packed this bottle like this, full, maybe 35, 40 live scorpions. Packed them in there, sealed them up. Then I went to my house. I went to my house and I took anything that could burn, clothes, everything, furniture, everything, put it outside and made a big pile. Then threw 5 gallons of gasoline all over everything, and then lit it on fire, chanting this mantra, the Agni days, you know. And then I went in the house and I got the rib chain. I put the rib chain on, So here I am. The rib cage. I like watching, okay, here I go like this. I rip it off, I'm going like this. Yeah! Say some satanic mantras, and then I threw the rib chain into the fire, and then I took the whole bottle of scorpions, and I said, I want to see you, the evil of this creation. And I took the whole bottle of live scorpions and threw it into the fire.
Wow.
And then the bottle exploded. And then I heard all the scorpions screaming in pain as it was burned to ashes. And then the whole island of Maui turned into the queen scorpion, the mystical scorpion. And she stung me in my back. And I said, Yogeshwar, you're a supreme mystic. Please take away all this poison. And lo and behold, I have a back problem. But, I'm pretty sure the poison's gone, but the sting did some damage. Mystical sting.
It's interesting. So it sounds like you spent a lot of time experimenting with, the powerful, hallucinogenic, compounds. And, I've listened a lot to like Terrence McKenna and some of these other people who were, kind of doing research on the hallucinogens and stuff. And so it's interesting because like now the VA, they're using them, not, but they're finding a lot of, in low doses, not 100 hits of orange sunshine, but in low doses it's actually able to help help with the PTSD and the trauma and other things. How do you think that doing those like experiencing those things, it's something that to people who've never done it, it's hard to really put into words, or they just kind of look at you like you're crazy. But the priests and the shamans of these ancient cultures going back thousands of years would use them as not as a party recreational thing,
no,
but
as a
way
tool
of,
to heal.
To heal and to commune with, become more in touch with nature and other things. So it's interesting that it seems this way with a lot of people that grew up in that era, that, the hallucinogenic experience was so profound that it allowed this generation of people to realize that the world around them is not necessarily what
It's not
they
real.
perceive it to be.
It's a matrix.
And so, how did those experiences combined with learning about Krishna consciousness and the philosophy, how did they help to make sense of like the pain and the suffering in your life that you went through? I mean, it sounds like you've been through, I can't even imagine. And you're also, we didn't mention it in the beginning, but you've been diagnosed again.
Oh yeah, I'm
with
diagnosed
cancer.
with stage 4 cancer. Now I've got 4 kinds of cancers.
So yeah,
So
I see you I see him sometimes at work at the VA. So
yeah, but that's my latest diagnosis. The cancer is back, folks, and I'm living with it. I'm accepting it.
How old are you right now?
Right now I'm 73 years old, so I've been the ropes, my friend. I've been there, done that, and I can safely say that chanting the names of God, whether it be chanting and glorifying Jesus through hymn and gospel, that is beautiful and wonderful. Whether chanting, to the Quran, whatever religion you're following. It's all beautiful, it's all wonderful. But I'm going to tell you all right now, all of you, this is not stepping on your toes. This is not wanting you to hang me up and crucify me for what I'm about to say, but I am a true Christian, maybe even more than you, because I'm connected to Jesus right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I can call upon Jesus Christ right now and invoke his energy and mystical mercy all of a sudden I can do that very easily.
And Jesus is all about love.
And Jesus is all about love, and that's the truth. So I can do that. But so what I'm telling you folks is that yes, you go to church, you sing. I've been there. I've preached in a Baptist church. I've watched you mamas out there. Jesus glorified. Hallelujah. There is power. And I've heard y'all out there. And the connection is real. It's the real deal. It connects you to Jesus Christ, and He will deliver you to the kingdom of God. But you're all facing one thing and one thing only, and that is a wall. An impregnable wall. You can't go over this wall. You can't go through this wall. You can't go around this wall. And that wall is the most important commandment in all religions on your planet. And that is the 6th commandment. Thou shalt not kill. That is the most important commandment. And until you Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Christians, whatever you are, whatever you believe, until you stop eating everything that poops on your planet, there is no compassion. There is no love. There is no black saves black or loves black, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do and project. It's all bull. It's all a way of pulling you into the material matrix, thinking that you have got it all and it's all right to commit adultery. It's all right to drink and smoke whatever you want or take anything you want to do. You're a human being. You have free will to do anything you want. That is all true. It is the truth. But try to understand, my friends, there is karma, whether you believe in karma or you don't believe in karma. Something for every action, there is reaction. And I'm going to tell you now what I read. Lord Shiva is so unpleased and displeased with those people who commit adultery. Amazing, I read that. That Lord Shiva, that's one of the 6 things that really pisses him off.
I wouldn't want to be...
I'm telling you in layman's terms.
No, I feel you. Continue.
So you have to understand where this is all coming from, that this wall is the purpose of our coming here. The Hare Krishnas, the Buddhists, the Christians, the people with real faith, the people with real understanding of who they are and their mission for God, because we all have the same mission, and that is to love each other, to care for each other. But how can you love and care for each other if you're eating everything that poops? And because you're eating everything that poops, there's karmic reaction, and as a result of that karmic reaction, there can never be peace and love on your planet.
Wow.
And when I say love, what does that indicate? Sexual pleasure, love this, love that, love, love, love. It all leads to something material. So when you connect with God, when you really connect with God, and you Christians tonight, I'll tell you what, all of you, the whole world, everybody who's listening, I'm going to tell you, you can all take one small little step in your life right now towards Jesus, one small little step towards Buddha, one small little step towards Muhammad, Ali, Allah, one small step to the earth, whatever you believe. Take one small step only. Just one. This is all I ask you, a dying man who's been there. Just stop eating red meat for the rest of your existence in this creation. That's all you have to do. Nothing more. Eat your damn chickens and pigs and everything else you want to eat. Just make the small step tonight to Jesus. Sit in front of your crucifix and say, yes, Jesus, I don't want to commit this sin of killing. Please let me take this small step, and me and my family will never eat red meat again. And then the journey is in your hands. And then from there on, Jesus, Mohammed, Buddha, whoever, will lead them away, will lead them to the kingdom of God, and eventually they will stop eating all these abominable things, which is the cause of all the diseases, except in my case. I have all these cancers and diseases because of my exposure to Agent Orange. Now, folks, that is the real deal.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that science, there's nothing that you can do, carrot juice, all these things they say can kill cancer and cure it. You cannot get rid of this Agent Orange crap that I had to
And
breathe.
it's a lot of the veterans of your generation that I see at work, it's like, it's horrifying how many of them have even been diagnosed with Agent Orange related sickness, but then there's so many more that haven't been or were exposed to it, and because there's no documentation, they're not getting treated for it.
That's right,
And
because
it
they
disgusts me
weren't,
to no end.
because the VA has a map, and they say this area, this area, this area.
Yeah,
If you were
if you
in
weren't in
any
that
of these
area,
areas, you were exposed. If you weren't, then they're trying to lie and cheat, and we don't give you any service connection. Sorry.
So you were telling me in the car that you only just recently got 100%.
Oh, I had 100% when I first got my cancer in 2015. They immediately put me on 100%. But now that the cancer has reappeared, guess what they give me now for cancer, prostate cancer? 40%. Because everybody's coming down with prostate cancer now. Everybody's coming down with lung cancer. You know, the whole VA hospitals, you know, everybody's thinking about the pandemic and so much about that. What about us poor veterans who have gone through this Agent Orange exposure and we're dying like flies from cancers that we can't, there's nothing you can do for it. You know, the truth of it is, you killed my cancer, it's back. Why is it back? Why is it all over my body now? Why wasn't it detected by you people? You know, why is my generation being destroyed now at this time period? Because we are. All the Vietnam veterans are coming down with these ailments and
that's really
diseases
sad to see it.
now. And the VA is denying and lowering and making the conditions and everything so, and then
Making you jump through hoops and
go craziness for a few bucks, just to keep you safe.
So, can we go back to, you mentioned you had served with Srila Prabhupada. When was the first time that you ever saw him?
Okay,
How
so
was that experience?
Okay, so after Hawaii, we flew back to the United States, and my girlfriend and my brother's girlfriend, they all live in Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
So, what time is it?
7-11. We're good?
7-11?
For a little bit more? Okay, yep, keep going.
Okay, so we went to Orange County in California, and we went to visit the girl's parents and everything, and you know, one thing led to another, and then January, you know, I said to my girlfriend, I said, I can't deal with this anymore, you know, I can't deal with this anymore. You're messing with everybody you see, you know, and I can't relate to this kind of thing. So I'm going to join the temple, brother. I'm going to the temple now. Come with me or go with your girlfriend. You know, you have a choice now, because I'm giving it up.
Did he go with you?
No.
He stayed with his
So
wife?
New Year's Eve. After New Year's, we partied real good. After New Year's party, I went to Laguna Beach Temple, and I walked into the temple. And who do you think was sitting there on the floor honoring Prasadam? Srila Damodar, the scientist. Srila Damodar, Bhakti Swarup Damodar. Okay. So he was sitting there honoring Prasadam. So I walked up to him and I said, I have decided to give up my material desires and want to join the temple now and become a devotee. So this is actually when I became a devotee.
What year was this again?
This was in January 1973. This is actually This is the recorded time that I joined the movement.
Okay.
The recorded time.
Okay.
Laguna Beach.
Laguna Beach. Yeah, I got that there.
Okay. So then I went to Laguna Beach
Moved in.
and then we lived in Laguna Beach, and we were going to Rashad was a health freak, and he was kind of fanatical about it in a way. We would get all our vegetables from an organic farm in Escondido. So I would go there, and I would go to the farm, and I would hand pick all the vegetables for the Sunday feast and
Wow.
for the temple for the week. So we heard Prabhupada was coming to Los Angeles. This is in '73, and I've never seen Srila Prabhupada. I didn't know anything about Prabhupada. I had doubts. I had fears. I had no understanding of what was about to transpire in my life.
Mm-hmm.
What changed my whole life at that moment that he met me. Anyways, I decided I wanted to give Srila Prabhupada a box of vegetables. So I went to this organic farm, and I got a big box full of maybe 10, 15 different varieties of organic vegetables to present to Srila Prabhupada in Los Angeles. So we went up to Los Angeles, and we got there, and then I guess Prabhupada was on the morning walk, so I situated myself at the entrance to the side of the building where Prabhupada would enter to go into the Laguna Beach and into the Los Angeles temple. So I was kneeling down in front of the box with folded hands. Swap Damodar was behind me. Anyway, making a long story short, Prabhupada's car pulls up. And as Prabhupada's car pulls up, it stops a little bit down, and then Prabhupada gets out of the car, and everybody gets out of the car, and they start heading towards the entrance to the Los Angeles temple. And Prabhupada's walking, and then he turns, and then there I am, right in front of him, with the big box of vegetables, kneeling down like this, and I said, Srila Prabhupada, please accept these organic vegetables. And then Swat Damodar, out of the blue, says, Srila Prabhupada, this boy has grown all these vegetables. I never grew nothing in my whole life. I never knew what a cow was except I ate them, And there it is, bing in the bang. He's telling Mr. Prabhupada. And then, within 30 seconds, 45 seconds, I got my first instruction from Srila Prabhupada. And that instruction was, you must go to Mayapur and make gardens. And then Prabhupada walked into the temple around me, went into the temple. And then I became Prabhupada's flower boy. As soon as Prabhupada went up to his quarters, I was looking around all over the temple because it was packed with devotees because Prabhupada was there. I was trying to find a flower offerable to Prabhupada, worthy.
Wow.
So I looked around, and finally somehow it transpired where I got a beautiful red rose. I took up all the spikes, and then I waited. And then Srila Prabhupada came walking down, and I walked up to Srila Prabhupada, and I said, please accept this flower. And Prabhupada took the flower, and at that moment I became Prabhupada's personal flower boy. And every time I seen Srila Prabhupada, I'd give him a flower somewhere. I have so many stories. Now, those we're going to save for the next time.
Okay.
The Prabhupada story.
Yeah, absolutely. So
We already got into too much of
Sure.
the negative aspect of my life. We all understand now. It's all
I wanted to
background.
get a
We got the
background, a
background.
baseline, so we could see where you're coming from.
So now you can see.
Yeah, now we got it.
Now you got
so
really good. Now you can compile your Krishna conscious, because now we're going from my time of from that time Prabhupada gave me my first instruction. Now all we're going to talk about is my connection with Krishna consciousness from that moment of my first instruction to the moment of right at this moment, or when we continue with our
Okay.
thing,
Sure.
because
Yeah.
it's going to end now, and we're going to continue with so many beautiful stories. You ain't going to believe it, folks. We got them.
So we'll wrap this up here. This has been The Sole Purpose. Thank you guys very much for listening to this
Yeah.
interview. Like we've talked now, we will be doing more and hearing more of your story and getting more into the depths of the devotional aspect of how you pulled yourself all the way out of all the various activities that we seem to get ourselves stuck in this material creation.
Went all the way to the deep end and dove in head first, and
Yeah.
then somehow you found your way
yeah,
out.
you-
And
Spent
I'm
a lot
going
out
to
of
tell
it.
you how I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We
So
look
this
forward to
is, so this, folks, you can look forward to. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
it. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
All
like,
right,
follow,
thank you so
subscribe,
much.
No
share,
problem.
comment. Thank you guys. Hare Krishna.